Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to ISNA Ramadan, day 20, 2/3 of the way of Ramadan, entering in the last 10 nights. As always, we begin with the best of words, so we will begin inshallah today with the Holy Quran. We have here with us in studio Sheikh Ahmed Halim to recite some Quran for us.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم را، تلك آيات الكتاب والذي أنزل إليك من ربك الحق ولكن أكثر الناس لا يؤمنون. الله الذي رفع السماوات بغير عمد ترونها ثم استوى على العرش وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري لأجل مسمى يدبر الأمر يفصل الآيات لعلكم بلقاء ربكم توقنون. وهو الذي مد الأرض وجعل فيها رواسي وأنهارا ومن كل الثمرات جعل فيها زوجين اثنين يغشي الليل النهار إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. وفي الأرض قطع متجاورات وجنات من أعناب وزرع ونخيل صنوان وغير صنوان يسقى بماء واحد ونفضل بعضها على بعض في الأكل إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يعقلون. وإن تعجب فعجب قولهم أإذا كنا ترابا أإنا لفي خلق جديد. أولئك الذين كفروا بربهم وأولئك الأغلال في أعناقهم وأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. ويستعجلونك بالسيئة قبل الحسنة وقد خلت من قبلهم المثلات وإن ربك لذو مغفرة للناس على ظلمهم وإن ربك لشديد العقاب. ويقول الذين كفروا لولا أنزل عليه آية من ربه إنما أنت منذر ولكل قوم هاد. الله يعلم ما تحمل كل أنثى الله يعلم ما تحمل كل أنثى وما تغيض الأرحام وما تزداد وكل شيء عنده بمقدار. عالم الغيب والشهادة الكبير المتعال. سواء منكم من أسر القول ومن جهر به ومن هو مستخف بالليل وسارب بالنهار. له معقبات من بين يديه ومن خلفه يحفظونه من أمر الله. إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. وإذا أراد الله بقوم سوءا فلا مرد له وما لهم من دونه من وال. هو الذي يريكم البرق خوفا وطمعا وينشئ السحاب الثقال. ويسبح الرعد بحمده والملائكة من خيفته ويرسل الصواعق فيصيب بها من يشاء وهم يجادلون في الله وهو شديد المحال.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh Ahmed, for that beautiful recitation of the Quran. The days and nights alternate, and the month of Ramadan slowly fades away. However, the light of the Quran remains eternal and luminous. In the face of the shimmering glass of the blessed lantern, we see ourselves. We see parables, and thus we join Sheikh Hussam Hilal to guide us through these.
Welcome back to another episode of Parables of the Quran. Inshallah, today we're going to begin with a background ayah that will set up the discussion for the ayat that we're going to be discussing, inshallah. And this ayah is actually in Surah Al-A'raf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, after أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون ونزعنا ما في صدورهم من غل تجري من تحتهم الأنهار وقالوا الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق ونودوا أن تلكم الجنة أورثتموها بما كنتم تعملون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the believers. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Those who believed and coupled that belief with good action, with good deeds. لَا نُكَلِّفُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not obligated us to do more than what we can bear. So meaning everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to do, that is part of our sharia, all the do's and don'ts are all part of our capacity. They're all within our means. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not ask you to do more than what you can handle, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not expect from you more than what you can bear. أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون. Those are the people that will be given the gift of Jannah, and there they will reside forever, eternally. Now what's very interesting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِم مِّن غِلٍّ, that when they go to Jannah, they're purified and they're cleansed from any ill feelings or hurt or pain or anxiety or stress that was caused in this dunya. So all of that is taken away. In Jannah, all of that is removed. What's very interesting though, is the words that they say, وَقَالُوا الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ الَّذِي هَدَانَ لِهَذَا. So the people who are gifted this gift of Jannah, they're going to say, all praise and all gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guiding us to this path and for gifting us this Jannah, this gift of Jannah. لو الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. And if it hadn't been for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we would never have been guided. Look at the humility. So those are people that are attributing the success to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Saying, imagine at this moment of success, at this moment and at this height of success, when they're admitted to Jannah, imagine they could be celebrating like, I can't believe we did it. Yeah, that was... But they don't attribute the success to themselves, even in Jannah. They're still attributing it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They've made it that far. And they're still attributing the success to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying, had it not been for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's guidance, for us, we would never have been guided. Now what's very interesting is the response from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's response is, تِلْكُمُ الْجَنَّةِ وَنُودُوا أَن تِلْكُمُ الْجَنَّةُ أُورِثْتُمُوهَا بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. The response is, actually, this Jannah, you're gifted as a reward for what you used to do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, listen, the beautiful relationship here. They attribute the success to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reinforces them and gives them that credit. Actually, no, it's because of your deeds. So when you give and attribute the success to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala empowers you and gives you more and reinforces what you have. But when you attribute it to yourself, that in itself is the height of arrogance. You attribute the success to yourself. Like Qarun. What happened with Qarun? قال إنما أوتيته على علم عندي. Look at the number of eyes here. إنما, indeed I attained this. أوتيته, I have been given this على علم, because of the knowledge that I have accumulated عندي, with me, through my efforts. So look at how many times he attributes that success in the language to himself. And it's interesting that the people of Jannah attribute the success to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even after going to Jannah. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that powerful? You're no longer held accountable. But it's a part of them, which shows you that it wasn't a facade. Subhanallah, there's something that's part of the person. There's something that's part of the person. And it doesn't leave them. But other things, when that person goes into their comfort zone, the real them comes out. So these are people, the people of Jannah, the true people of Jannah, are not the people like, yeah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, but it's just an action of the tongue. They said alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, and it was genuinely felt within. It was a life that they lived, a legacy that they left behind, a legacy of gratitude. So one beautiful thing that we should take this month of Ramadan and from the Quran in general, and one behavior that we should cultivate is the behavior of gratitude and attributing all the success to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about all the success that you have in your life. You're fasting, alhamdulillah, it's because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're alive, alhamdulillah, it's because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're able to hear, alhamdulillah, because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're able to speak, alhamdulillah. You're able to feel, you're able to articulate yourself, you're able to love, you're able to appreciate love. Whatever you have in your life, whatever you have, whatever you don't have, all of it is worthy of praise and gratitude. And the one who all that gratitude should be directed to is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahi thumma wallahi, that gratitude that you have towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can take you a long, long way. And attributing the success to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and everything that you do can take you a long, long, long way. And having that humility with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even when you're making dua, begin by saying, Ya Allah, I don't even know what to ask for, but I know that you know best what is good for me. So Ya Allah, I'm asking for you to give me that which you know to be good for me. And couple that with all the hadith and all the du'as that we know from the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and from the Quran. Even when you're asking for guidance, Ya Allah, I don't even know what guidance looks like. I don't know what clarity looks like. I don't know what truth looks like. On my own, I am doomed. I am going to definitely go astray. On my own, I'm not able to, but through you, I am able to, Ya Allah. So making that, subhanAllah, that appeal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you're on the ground at night, these last 10 nights, by yourself, between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't come back from sujood until you've poured your heart out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, I am weak. Ya Allah, I am unable. Ya Allah, I am humble. Ya Allah, I'm turning to you knowing that you can. Knowing that I'm limited in all capacity. My ability to think is limited. My ability to feel is limited. My ability to express myself is limited. My ability to understand the reality of everything that I have is limited. But through you, it's all enhanced. And this shouldn't teach us to, some people when they hear this like, wow, Islam teaches us to kind of take all the value of the human being out. I'm nothing. Well, in reality, we are nothing. But through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are honored and we're dignified. You're empowered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this takes us to the parable or the story that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us in Surah Al-Qalam. The story of a group of people, a group of young people who attributed the success to themselves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, إِنَّا بَلَوْنَاهُمْ. We have tested Quraysh. Just like كَمَا بَلَوْنَا أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ. Just like we tested the people who owned the garden before them. إِذْ أَقْسَمُوا لَيَصْرِمُنَّهَا مُصْبِحِينَ. Now look at this, subhanAllah. This is very powerful. إِذْ أَقْسَمُوا. They're taking an oath. They're swearing. They're saying, definitely tomorrow. And it's not an oath by Allah. It's like tomorrow, for sure, without doubt, we're going to get our garden harvested. So imagine, why are they taking an oath? Because what's happening, the story is that they've become so accustomed, they've become so lazy, there's so much fruit, there's so much to harvest, that they're putting off the day of harvest. Imagine they're procrastinating the harvest. A poor person who has nothing is waiting for that day when the fruit is ripe. Go early in the morning, get it done and move on. Because that's your life. But these people have so much luxury that they're like, oh, we have so much, plus it's so hard to harvest everything. We'll put it off. Another day, another day, another day. So finally they have to sit together, all these young, powerful men, and they have to take an oath. They have to take each other's word, give each other their word that tomorrow they're going to wake up to harvest. And they're all going to be there because it needs to be done all together. It's a group effort. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا يَسْتَثْنُونَ. وَلَا يَسْتَثْنُونَ. And they don't make any exceptions. They don't say if, they don't say but, they don't say inshallah. And they don't, from thana as well, they don't give credit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who gave you that water through which that grass is going to come out, through which the flowers are going to come out, through which the crop is going to come out, the sunlight, the energy that you have, all of it. Where does all of that come from? So they don't attribute the success to Allah. They don't give that moment. They don't take that moment to appreciate what Allah has given them. وَلَا يَسْتَثْنُونَ فَطَافَ عَلَيْهَا طَائِفٌ مِّن رَبِّكَ وَهُمْ نَائِمُونَ فَأَصْبَحَتْ كَالصَّرِيمِ. So while they're sleeping at night, resting in their comfort, in the comfort of their beds, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends a heat wave that destroys the entire crop, that destroys the entire fruit, destroys the entire harvest. وَهُمْ نَائِمُونَ فَأَصْبَحَتْ كَالصَّرِيمِ. In the morning, early morning, it became, or فَأَصْبَحَتْ can be understood as early morning, it woke up to find itself destroyed, or فَأَصْبَحَتْ meaning it turned and became كَالصَّرِيمِ, as though it's a destroyed piece that did not even exist before, as though there was no greenery at all in that place to begin with, subhanAllah. فَأَصْبَحَتْ كَالصَّرِيمِ فَتَنَادَوْا مُصْبِحِينَ. And they have no clue, they have no idea. So they're sitting at home, calling on to each other. فَتَنَادَوْا مُصْبِحِينَ أَنِ اغْدُوا عَلَى حَرْثِكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَارِمِينَ. It's time to go. They're putting on their attire, getting ready for work, preparing their tools. Let's go, guys, let's go, we gotta go. أَنِ اغْدُوا عَلَى حَرْثِكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَارِمِينَ فانطلقوا وهم يتخافتون ألا يدخلنها اليوم عليكم مسكين وغدوا على حرد قادرين. Very powerful. So they say, you know what? If we go now, early in the morning, people might be expecting us. People might be expecting us. And if we go now, all the poor people are going to be lined up outside and they're going to make a scene, and we don't want to share. We don't want to give. So not only are they not attributing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they think that what they have is because of them. So they don't want to share it with others. Oh, those poor people, why should we give them? If they work hard like us, then they'll be able to make it in life. Why should we, after all the hard work, even though they didn't do much, subhanAllah, they're living in luxury and privilege. And now they're wanting to maximize all that they can keep, giving nothing at all to the poor. So they say, you know what, let's wait until the noon when everyone is napping, and let's wait until the noon when the sun is hot, so that way, no one is expecting us to be at the farm. No one is going to expect people to be harvesting in the midday when the sun is intense. Usually it's after Fajr. Let's maximize. Let's avoid the scene. Let's avoid encountering and dealing with the poor people, those, poor masakeen. أَلَّا يَدْخُلَنَّهَا الْيَوْمَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِسْكِينَ. And remember, they said also, let's close the garden and let's be hush-hush. When we're harvesting, let's not make any noise. So that way, no single individual that is poor would come in. No single poor person would come in. أَلَّا يَدْخُلَنَّهَا الْيَوْمَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِسْكِينَ وَغَدَوْا عَلَى حَرْدٍ قادرين فلما رأوها قالوا إنا لضالون بل نحن محرومون قال أوسطهم ألم أقل لكم لولا تسبحون قالوا سبحان ربنا إنا كنا ظالمين. So they go ahead in the noontime and they're determined and they go and they look, and as soon as they find it, they say what? Inna ladallun. And this can be understood in two ways, the power of the Quran. It could be understood, ladallun, meaning we have lost our way, meaning we've come to the wrong farm. Obviously, this is not our garden. I'm sure we've made the wrong turn somewhere. Like, this cannot be ours. So the disbelief is expressed in this ayah. But also, there's another disbelief. And that is, they didn't believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one in charge. So they're admitting that they're lost. They've lost their way, meaning they haven't found the right farm. But in reality, they've lost their way in terms of not having found Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala properly. In terms of not having understood the role of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their life. And here, subhanAllah, they say to each other, Inna ladallun bal nahnu mahrumun. Clearly we've been deprived. Yeah, you're right. But you're not deprived just from the farm that was destroyed. You're deprived of the sweetness of Iman. You're deprived of the sweetness of being connected and humble to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're deprived of that clarity that comes by giving. You know, sometimes, subhanAllah, you have 24 hours, and in those 24 hours, you can't get yourself to do a single thing. Just feeling lazy and tired and weak and lack of determination. But other times, in that 1 hour, you can do more than you've done in the whole 24 hours. And that's where barakah comes in. And if you look into your own life, whenever you're there for others, whenever you get yourself out of bed and you force yourself out of that comfort zone and actually give back and help others and be there for others, you'll see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you in unimaginable ways, in powerful ways. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless everything that you have, and everything that you can get comes easier, comes with blessing, comes with comfort, comes with relaxation, comes with reduced anxiety. So بل نحن محرومون قال أوسطهم ألم أقل لكم لولا تسبحون. And this whole surah has all these double meanings. أوسطهم means the middle one. So the middle of the children, the middle of these men, meaning the middle child, the middle of the brothers. But also أوسطهم means the one who's also on the middle. He wasn't too extreme in this way or too extreme in that way. Not to the right, not to the left. Meaning he didn't let dunya get a hold of him. And he didn't let, like, khalas, I'm gonna be the righteous one. He didn't let his righteousness allow him to basically judge or be inappropriate or be forceful with the rest. So he led by example. He gave da'wah. He preached to the best of his ability, but he didn't become an annoyance or a source of noise for them. So أوسطهم, the most middle of them, he told them what? Didn't I tell you? ألم أقل لكم لولا تسبحون. Did I not tell you to honor Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to do tasbih, to raise Allah to his status that he deserves? Do you see now the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And isn't it amazing that people only begin to realize the power of Allah when things are destroyed? When things are destroyed. قال ألم أقل لكم لولا تسبحون. Then finally they said, قالوا سبحان ربنا. Oh, how great and majestic and how far above any human imperfections Allah is. But it's too late. So don't wait for that crushing moment for you to be humble. Don't wait for a bus to hit you, metaphorically speaking, before you realize all the wrongs that have been happening in your life. Don't take the good that you have in your life for granted. Don't think that it's always going to be there. Like the example we're giving in Surah Al-Kahf. The man who says, yeah, I know what I have is great. And if there is a hereafter, if there is a Jannah, God will give me better and I will enter Jannah there. Don't have that, privileged, entitled, thoughtless, wishful thinking in your connection with Allah. I think I'm okay. It's fine. I'm better than others. And then you compare yourself to others. Like, at least I pray once a day. Some people don't even pray at all. At least I wake up, sometimes for Fajr. At least I fast, sometimes. Some people don't even fast at all. At least I know Allah. At least I know Islam. At least I know Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At least I say La ilaha illallah Muhammadun sallallahu alaihi wasallam Rasulullah. At least I donate. At least I give back. So have that. Take all that entitlement. Take all that privilege away. Take all the arrogance away. Delete it. Remove it from your life. And genuinely and honestly submit yourself to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, I'm coming to you with an open slate. Ya Allah, guide me. I don't know, but you do. I'm not aware, but you are. I'm unclear, but you have the clarity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then reminds us, فَأَقْبَلَ بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ يَتَلَاوَمُونَ قَالُوا يَا وَيْلَنَا إِنَّا كُنَّا طَاغِينَ. Then they start the blame game. يَتَلَاوَمُونَ. Actually, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Man, it's you. You're the big guy. You should have advised us. You should have told us we're being lazy. You should have reminded us. So now the blame game happens. And how often does this happen in our lives? Where we wait until something really difficult happens. And then we're humbled and then we start blaming each other. So what happens next? قَالُوا يَا وَيْلَنَا إِنَّا كُنَّا طَاغِينَ. Indeed, we've come to realize that we've transgressed in every aspect of our lives. عَسَى رَبُّنَا. But look at the optimism, the sound of wisdom that eventually comes. عَسَى رَبُّنَا أَن يُبْدِلَنَا خَيْرًا مِنْهَا إِنَّا إِلَىٰ رَبِّنَا رَاغِبُونَ. Perhaps Allah, who's very capable, can give us much, much better than this. For indeed, we are now turning to Allah with hope. We're hopeful in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's capacity. So imagine people wait until they're crushed before they put their hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People wait until they're destroyed before they put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why wait for that? Turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your height of success, at your height of blessing, and be grateful. And remember and remind yourself that all of it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And going back again to the ayah in Surah Al-A'raf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remember, He tells them, تِلْكُمُ الْجَنَّةُ أُورِثْتُمُوهَا بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. And Ibn al-Qayyim and others, they say that, look at the beautiful dynamic here. قَالَ الْعَبْدُ بِفَضْلِكَ فَقَالَ اللَّهُ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى بِعَمَلِكَ. That the servant turned to Allah and said, Ya Allah, through your fadl, through your grace and your honor, you've given me this, even the gift of Islam is through you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, well, you deserve to be recognized for your deeds. You deserve to be recognized for your work. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us in this beautiful month of Ramadan to be from those who attribute all the good to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this beautiful month of Ramadan to allow us to be from those who attribute all the khair to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and who continue to be humble, who continue to ask, who continue to look for clarity and to seek clarity, but reminding themselves always that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the source of everything. Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh Hussam, for that beautiful reminder. As always, we have reflected, and now it is time to listen. I call again Sheikh Ahmed to recite some Quran for us.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون والذين هم للزكاة فاعلون والذين هم لفروجهم حافظون إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين. فمن ابتغى وراء ذلك فأولئك هم العادون والذين هم لأماناتهم وعهدهم راعون والذين هم على صلواتهم يحافظون أولئك هم الوارثون الذين يرثون الفردوس هم فيها خالدون. ولقد خلقنا الإنسان من سلالة من طين ثم جعلناه نطفة في قرار مكين ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة فخلقنا العلقة مضغة فخلقنا المضغة عظاما فكسونا العظام لحما ثم أنشأناه خلقا آخر فتبارك الله أحسن الخالقين ثم إنكم بعد ذلك لميتون ثم إنكم يوم القيامة تبعثون ولقد خلقنا فوقكم 7 طرائق وما كنا عن الخلق غافلين وأنزلنا من السماء ماء بقدر فأسكناه في الأرض وإنا على ذهاب به لقادرون فأنشأنا لكم به جنات من نخيل وأعناب لكم فيها فواكه كثيرة ومنها تأكلون وشجرة تخرج من طور سيناء تنبت بالدهن وصبغ للآكلين وإن لكم في الأنعام لعبرة نسقيكم مما في بطونها ولكم فيها منافع كثيرة ومنها تأكلون وعليها وعلى الفلك تحملون ولقد أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه فقال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره أفلا تتقون فقال الملأ الذين كفروا من قومه ما هذا إلا بشر مثلكم يريد أن يتفضل عليكم ولو شاء الله لأنزل ملائكة ما سمعنا بهذا في آبائنا الأولين إن هو إلا رجل به جنة فتربصوا به حتى حين قال رب انصرني بما كذبون فأوحينا إليه أن اصنع الفلك بأعيننا ووحينا فإذا جاء أمرنا وفارت النور فاسلك فيها من كل زوجين 2 وأهلك إلا من سبق عليه القول منهم ولا تخاطبني في الذين ظلموا إنهم مغرقون. فإذا استويت أنت ومن معك على الفلك فقل الحمد لله الذي نجانا من القوم الظالمين وقل رب أنزلني منزلا مباركا وأنت خير المنزلين إن في ذلك لآيات وإن كنا لمبتلين ثم أنشأنا من بعدهم قرنا آخرين فأرسلنا فيهم رسولا منهم أن اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره أفلا تتقون وقال الملأ من قومه الذين كفروا وكذبوا بلقاء الآخرة وأترفناهم في الحياة الدنيا ما هذا إلا بشر مثلكم يأكل مما تأكلون منه ويشرب مما تشربون ولئن أطعتم بشرا مثلكم إنكم إذا لخاسرون أيعدكم أنكم إذا متم وكنتم ترابا وعظاما أيعدكم أنكم إذا متم وكنتم ترابا وعظاما أنكم مخرجون هيهات هيهات لما توعدون إن هي إلا حياتنا الدنيا نموت ونحيا وما نحن بمبعوثين إن هو إلا رجل افترى على الله كذبا وما نحن له بمؤمنين قال رب انصرني بما كذبون قال عما قليل ليصبحن نادمين فأخذتهم الصيحة بالحق فجعلناهم غثاء فبعدا للقوم الظالمين ثم أنشأنا من بعدهم قرونا آخرين ما تسبق من أمة أجلها وما يستأخرون ثم أرسلنا رسلنا تترى كلما جاء أمة رسولها كذبوه فأتبعنا بعضهم بعضا وجعلناهم أحاديث فبعدا لقوم لا يؤمنون ثم أرسلنا موسى وأخاه هارون بآياتنا وسلطان مبين إلى فرعون وملئه فاستكبروا وكانوا قوما عالين فقالوا أنؤمن لبشرين مثلنا وقومهما لنا عابدون فكذبوهما فكانوا من المهلكين. ولقد آتينا موسى الكتاب لعلهم يهتدون. وجعلنا ابن مريم وأمه آية وآويناهما إلى ربوة ذات قرار ومعين. يا أيها الرسل كلوا من الطيبات واعملوا صالحا إني بما تعملون عليم. وإن هذه أمتكم أمة واحدة وأنا ربكم فاتقون. فتقطعوا أمرهم بينهم زبرا كل حزب بما لديهم فرحون. فذرهم في غمرتهم حتى حين. أيحسبون أن ما نمدهم به من مال وبنين نسارع لهم في الخيرات بل لا يشعرون. إن الذين هم من خشية ربهم مشفقون والذين هم بآيات ربهم يؤمنون والذين هم بربهم لا يشركون. والذين يؤتون ما آتوا وقلوبهم وجلة أنهم إلى ربهم راجعون أولئك يسارعون في الخيرات وهم لها سابقون. ولا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها ولدينا كتاب ينطق بالحق وهم لا يظلمون. بل قلوبهم في غمرة من هذا ولهم أعمال من دون ذلك هم لها عاملون. حتى إذا أخذنا مترفيهم بالعذاب إذا هم يجأرون. لا تجأروا اليوم إنكم منا لا تنصرون. قد كانت آياتي تتلى عليكم فكنتم على أعقابكم تنكصون مستكبرين به سامرا تهجرون. أفلم يدبروا القول أم جاءهم ما لم يأت آباءهم الأولين أم لم يعرفوا رسولهم فهم له منكرون. أم يقولون به جنة بل جاءهم بالحق وأكثرهم للحق كارهون.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh Ahmed, for that beautiful recitation of the Quran. Words of healing, words of hope, and the words of inspiration. The message of the Quran surpasses the greatest of minds It allows for comprehension and personal attachment for every man, woman, and child. We join Sheikh Ala El Sayyid asking him how the Quran inspired him.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulullah ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear Islam, welcome back to another episode for how the Quran changed me. And inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those to listen to speech and follow the best of it. And we thank you again for your continued support. As a reminder, inshallah, alhamdulillah, we are so honored and proud of you and extremely appreciative of what you have been doing so far. And alhamdulillah, to keep this drive alive and keep the masajid open. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you much more than you give in Ya Rabb. And make us among those to speech and follow the best of it. And make the Quran in our heart, not just in our hands. And make this, especially the month of Ramadan, the month of Quran. May Allah accept from you and grant us Laylatul Qadr. We are in the 10. I can't believe I'm saying this. We're in the last 10. Wallahi, I was just having a discussion with my wife. I said, what happened? What happened? Last 10, how could that be, Yani? I thought, again, this is going to be prolonged and very long, boring month. And we're just staying home, chilling, doing nothing. This was the fastest Ramadan in my life. I know I say that usually because we're busy. This is next level busy and next life fast. Wallahi, I don't know if you've been the same way or not, but it's been the busiest Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, it's been one of the best, believe it or not. I actually shared time with my family, which I haven't done for such a long time. So I'm actually maybe getting used to this. So it's going to be very difficult to come back out of it. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us, inshallah. Ameen. Today we have a beautiful journey with another giant, one Sahabi Jaleel. Prophet Muhammad said something in his honor. So I want you to listen to what Prophet Muhammad said in his honor. Then I'll go to him and take his story and find out why on that journey that he took. Same with our journey. Most of us have come from another place, and second generation or third generation, or so on and so forth. But our roots were somewhere else. If you're born and raised here, I understand totally, but look at that beautiful journey. Listen to what Prophet Muhammad said in that man's honor. He says, Salmanu minna al al-bayt. Allahu Akbar. Listen again. Salmanu minna al al-bayt. Salman al-Farisi, radiyallahu anhu wa ardah, wa an as-sahabati ajma'in. Prophet Muhammad says, he is of us. He's from al al-bayt. He's of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. Obviously, we cannot mix the lineage, and we talked about that. And the story of Zayd radiallahu anhu, the only Sahabi that was mentioned in the Quran, and maybe we can talk about him some other time. But Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, he said that himself. It wasn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, you cannot adopt, so on so. But he voluntarily says, he is from us. Salmanu minna al-bayt. So let's go back in history, find out why did Prophet Muhammad said that Wissam al-Sharaf, the medal of honor, in the sight of Salman al-Farisi, radiyallahu anhu wa ardah, an Ali bayt al-Athar, wa an as-sahabati ajma'in. Ameen. Salman al-Farisi, radiyallahu anhu, was born to be beloved. I'm going to just cut to the chase with a summary of the story where the most important parts of it, inshallah, we can learn from it. Not exactly details, but what we can learn from it and derive the ruling and how we can change accordingly, inshallah. Salman radiallahu anhu, when he was born, he said, I was most beloved to my father. And they used to worship, they were Majus, Zoroastrian, those who actually worship the fire. Whether they exist now or not, it doesn't matter. But they used to worship the fire. You know when you've been waiting for a child for a long time, and all of a sudden after years of trying and going to doctors and spending all that time, God Almighty grants you a child. Alhamdulillah, a gift. That's how his father had to go and endure it in order for him to see somebody like Salman al-Farisi rahmatullah alayhi. So he used to love him so much. He used to actually keep him in house. So stay. I don't want you to go anywhere. I don't want you to get lost. So one day, he used to keep the fire up. He used to keep looking at the fire because that's what they used to worship. Says, you know what? We have to keep the fire. His father used to add the fuel. And by the way, his father used to be the governor or the mayor of that city. So they were not poor. They were very rich. His father was very rich. They came from a higher lineage, a noble of society, and he had everything he wanted. If you remember, Mus'ab ibn Umayr radiallahu anhu, same thing, yeah? So, but this one here was not a Muslim. He used to worship fire. So I'm trying to tell you that even if people are not Muslim yet, don't ever give up on people. So we're going to take some lessons learned as we go along, inshallah, and find out what we can do to change, as the Quran told us, inshallah. And I'm going to tell you what the ayat is, inshallah, and we can learn from it. So So Salman al-Farisi, he used to see his father all the time, make sure that he is responsible for the fire, otherwise the God dies. You understand? You have to keep your God up, otherwise your God simply dies. And we cannot afford to have a dead God. Yes? Amazing, wallahi, al-uqul, amazing, the minds. So one day, his father was busy. So now he says, if I'm not doing anything, if my father doesn't want me going anywhere, as if it's like, like when you have a trophy wife, stay, don't have to do anything. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying, if you have something that's precious to you, stay there. Don't do anything. Just stay home. And that's how he felt about Salman, his son. So one day he says, if I'm not doing anything, I might as well just take care of the fire. So he kept taking care of the fire now. It was his responsibility to make sure the fire is up. So a few times he's used to ponder and reflect, this is God. One day his father was busy. He got in the fields and he said, you know what? He didn't come back. So he sent a message to him. Says, I need your help now. I want you to go ahead into the field and get me something. So he actually delegated the responsibility to him for the first time. First time he actually asked his son Salman al-Farisi, rahmatullahi alayhi wa radiyallahu anh, to do something on his behalf. So on his way to the field, he saw a church. He heard the bells. So he was attracted. What is that sound? So he goes to the building and he sees people reading the Injil, the New Testament. He started listening. He liked what he heard. He saw the demeanor of the people were soft-hearted, very nice. They embraced him in. He was listening to them. And then he started to ask and learn and listen. He lost all time. And all of a sudden, when the night came through, he had to go back home. So his father asked him, where were you? I asked you to do something. For the first time in my life, I asked you to do something and you dropped the ball. What's wrong with you? So he says, you know what? He didn't lie. He told them the truth. He says, when I was going to the fields, I heard bells and I was attracted. I went to see it and it was a church. And these people inside were reading the gospel, the New Testament, and I was listening to it. I was interested. This wallahi, their deen is better than our deen. Straight up. Yes? Gloves are off. And he says, booyah, in your face. Take that, dad. He says, their deen is better than our deen. He goes, no, ya bunay, deenuna afdal min deenihim. Our deen, our religion is better than theirs. He goes, no, la, their deen is better than ours. So his father was getting a little bit worried. For the third time, he says, follow our deen, follow ancestors, our forefathers, and so on and so forth. He says, no, I like theirs better. So what did he do? He says, go, you're free. Yani it's freedom of religion, free the whale, free at last, and free the green, whatever. You know what? When people have organizations to free or look after the animals, animal rights, I wish we have people to have yani. yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so if save the whale, save whatever, just save the human dignity, dude. Because some people just don't do it. They just look for, it looks good, they have it, alhamdulillah, but it doesn't work, dude. I mean, look around. But now he said, nope. You're going to have to follow our ways of life. And that's it. What did he do? He chained them up. He didn't just lock them in the door. He chained them up. He was locked in the house, chained. No choice. He cannot afford to lose his son. Now Salman al-Farisi was still dedicated. Was still motivated to go back. So he sent a messenger to the church. So the church got back into his aid. They asked him, where is your deen? Where is your deen from? He's asking, if somebody tells you where is the source of Islam, tell him Mecca, where Prophet Muhammad ﷺ received the revelation. Alhamdulillah, we have our heritage, we have our sources and all of that stuff. Easy. But then they asked him, where is your deen? How do I learn about your this Christianity thing? How do I learn from somebody? So it's really what we know of, it's in Sham. Sham, obviously there's no Sham right now, but it's Palestine, it's Syria, it's Jordan, it's Lebanon. That area is called Sham. But that was before our lovely enemies divide and conquer. Everybody says, where are you from? I'm from blah, blah, blah. I'm from blah, 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 and I'm from blah, blah, blue. We don't say I'm Muslim anymore. No. Where you come from, man? Allah help us, wallahi. So he says in the Sham. It originated in the Sham. So he wanted to go to a Sham in order for him to learn about this deen. He's very, very dedicated. So he told him, listen, I am imprisoned. He sent a messenger, says, I am imprisoned in my home. My father chained me up. I cannot go. I want to learn about your deen. and I want to go to Asham. So if you know somebody that is coming here, that is going to Asham, inform me. Days pass by. And finally, there is a caravan that is coming to his city that is going to Asham. You understand? Faris, Persia, yes? I'm just telling you, the origin, where it is, and how far he had to go, and what his endurance and the journey he had to actually endure. So they were actually honored his word. The church honored it, and he kept that in mind. So they said, we'll look after this man. This person here is looking. What am I going to tell you, brothers and sisters? Look, if somebody's asking about religion, asking about Islam, or asking about whatever, we have to help him. You understand? Abdi, my slave, this slave here of mine is coming to ask about Islam, and you will close the door. And that's why two things, I drop everything. New Muslims, and if you want to get married. Anybody want to get married out there? No? I'll hook you up. I'm your man. Who the man? You the man. So all you have to do is go to www.matchupmuslims.com. It's free. Do you believe it? I know Muslims, we love free stuff. But it's true. Go ahead and check it. I challenge you. Go on it right now. But no, not right now. Wait till I finish, then go on it, inshallah. I'll hook you up, okay? So you'll see my picture in the just in case. It's free. And it's very private. You don't have to worry about it. There's no surfing. Nobody knows about it. It's just me. I get the files, and we have an admin, a female, just to be on a full disclosure, and that's it. So don't worry about it. Full privacy. Come, I'll show you. I'll see you tonight. I'll see you. Okay. It's allowed. You are allowed to get married in Ramadan. I just got a phone call. Are we allowed to get married in Ramadan? Yes. What will you be learning? And somebody else will like just today said, what? One person wants to embrace Islam. Can they do that in Ramadan? Of course we do that in Ramadan. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. It's just things that we have to learn. Okay, so we can learn together. So what he did, he has now received somebody coming. He says, I struggled so hard, but I was waiting for that day. And I was able to free myself, and I got onto that caravan that is going to Asham. So finally, he gets his wish. He goes to Asham. And now he's starting to ask people, Man a'lamu nas indakum? Who is the most knowledgeable of you? He says, this qasis. Yes, this priest here at the church. So he goes to do it. He says, listen, I come from Faris. I come from Persia. I want to learn about your deen. Can I offer my time to serve you just to teach me the religion? He goes, yeah, no problems. So he stayed with him just to serve him, to work for him, for nothing. Remember, this was a rich, honorable person. Rich, a noble society. His father was the head honcho and all of that stuff. He chosen to leave that, even though he was chained, he did not give up. And he went all the way to look for something that he thought is better. So all of a sudden, he stayed with him, and he was watching. He was learning from him, not just the deen, his akhlaq, his character. But he saw something that he didn't like. This priest was asking people to do sadaqah. Go ahead, donate. And what he did, give to the poor. But what he did is he hoarded it himself. So he took the money from the people, and he kept it to himself. And he would have all these pots. He would fill the pot with gold or whatever currency they had, anything that they gave him, and bury it in the ground. So Salman al-Farisi was astonished. He couldn't believe it. He was amazed. What's going on? But he couldn't say anything, nor that he's called his bluff. Let me explain to you. You see, a new person comes, because you're going to have to understand now, because when he died, he called it. So why wouldn't he do it? Well, let's find out. So the man, he did this, so now Salman al-Farisi hated this man. People will come and say, yeah, oh priest, help us. We need some help. He says, oh, I don't have anything for you. Even though he's seen him take the money from the people for the poor, but he held it back, he hoarded the money, he buried it, didn't even enjoy it. Could you imagine? So when that man died, Salman al-Farisi, the people came in, says, you know what, let's honor him. Oh, he's the man of our religion and so on. So he says, no, don't do that. He doesn't deserve it. This man was such an evil man. He asked you for the money. He held it back. He didn't help the poor and so on. He says, give us your proof. So he showed him, let me tell you where his money is. So he opened it. There were 7 pots full in the ground, and they recognized their money. Well, this is the earrings I've given. This is the bling bling. This is from my cha-cha, my chichi, my choo-choo, and all of that stuff. So, you know what? They said that, yeah, he's telling the truth. So what did he do? They crucified him and stoned him to death. Could you imagine, my brothers and sisters? Well, he's already dead. You cannot be more dead than that. But he's just, it's a sign of of humiliation. So after this, he waited First of all, let's address the question that was asked before. How come Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anh did not say anything about that priest while he was alive? First of all, you understand the hikmah, the wisdom here. This man is new. Nobody knows this guy. Yes? And this priest here, everybody knows and love. If Salman al-Farisi says this, your priest is a thief, they would have said, you know what, get out of here, we don't believe you. But now the man is dead and he has proof. Yes? So the next one in. So they got rid of the first one and they got the second one in. So the second one in, he learned from him. He stayed with him for a long time again. Till that priest again was on his deathbed. He says, help me please. Who do you leave me after you? Where do I go? He says, wallahi, I don't know anybody else what we practice, what we preach, except this person. So he goes to that person for the third time, serves, helps, do whatever, learns, till that man also is dying. Now that man says there's nobody else is practicing this except the people of go to Iraq, go to all these places. So he moved so many times. On the last leg, the one that he trusted and he learned from, he says, I don't know anybody else practice what we practice. Even Christians change what we believe in. So he was the first one to sort of tell him that the original teaching is not there. That Christians have changed the book, have changed the deen. They don't have the original, nor they stay on this original path. So he says, but you are now living at the time of a new messenger coming through. Look for him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took him gradually. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees good in your heart, He will put people in your path, places and everything to guide you there. Proof. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Those who strive in our path, we will guide them to our ways. I'll come back to some other ayat later on, inshallah, just to make sure that you're on the same path, the same page, inshallah. So Salman al-Farisi hears the last words of this man. He says, no, you know what? Not hardly anybody holding on to the original Christianity according to what we learn, according to what we have. But you are living now at the time of a new messenger. Where is he? He says in the Arab Peninsula, Bilad al-Arab. Yeah, the Arabs. He will be resurrected in the Arabs. بين حرتين. Between two hot places. Meaning between two mountains of heated places. And he was describing Mecca and Medina. Subhanallah, ajib. Salman al-Farisi kept that in mind. And he traveled. He says, any caravan going to the Arabs? And before he left, he says, listen, his signs are 3. He will not take a sadaqah. He will not accept sadaqah. He will not take charity. He does accept a gift. And he has the seal of the prophets between his shoulder blades. So he had 3 proofs from that scholar of Christianity. The signs that was narrated that they will be having a new messenger coming into the Arab Peninsula between Mecca and Medina. So obviously he received it in Mecca, he migrated to Medina. So now Salman al-Farisi, he became rich. He started to work. He had some commerce, he had businesses, and he became wealthy. So he says, you know what? I have now cattle, I have everything else. Any caravan is going to the Arab Peninsula. One did. So how much did he pay? He says, take all this here. Everything you see here, all this cattle, all this stuff, it's all yours. I just want to go to. Amazing, ya akhi. Wallahi, every time I say these things, I get goosebumps again. Yani, think of what they were aiming for, what their ultimate goal is, and the ultimate prize they had to do, and what they invested. I'm not going to say sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. It's an investment in hereafter. So I want you to look at things in a different way. Don't think I'm paying sadaqah or zakah because it's a penalty. No, ya shaykh. It's an investment, akhi al-kareem. Because you get $700 more. Who gives you that in any business? As I said, 30% is your giveaway. Your gross margin on return investment is amazing. If you're making 30% off your bottom line, of your generating revenue, that's huge. But Allah gives you 700 and multiples of 700. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's an investment. It's not an expense. So he gave him everything, just in case. Just all he wanted is to go to the Arab Peninsula, and he has his 3 tools. He goes around, he learns, he stays here, he stays there, and he keeps asking, "Where is this man? Where is this man?" Finally, and even some days he says he was enslaved on the way back. And he had to free himself. And he had to pawn himself for a man that was a Jewish man that worked for him. He says, you have to, in order for me to free this man, with 700 nakhil, palm trees, and so on and so forth. But look at Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he honored him by sacrificing and asking people to do so, and the story is long to keep Salman al-Farisi free and all of that, comes in a little bit later, inshallah. But Prophet Muhammad recognized in that because he's seen how much he paid his dues in order for him to come. So finally, some people told him there is in that place, we heard the man that was sent. So they claim that they have a prophet and messenger. And the first time in the Arab Peninsula, it's usually where, somebody else according to the Jewish faith and all of that stuff. And this was the first one from the Arabs. So he started asking, where do I find him? So finally, after he freed himself, all the difficulties he had to go through, he goes and somebody pointed at him. So what he do? Prophet ﷺ noticed a man coming from Iraq. He's not familiar with the face. So obviously, he knows he's from outside of the city or the country, outside of Mecca. So he noticed that he's going around checking things out, making sure that this is a true prophet and messenger that he was told about from that last priest that he said after they changed. This is the one that is coming as a new messenger. Follow him. So he said, welcome. Where are you from? And all this started a small chat. He said, you know what? Here, I want to give you this as a sadaqah. So Prophet Muhammad took it, but he kept it aside. He did not eat from it. So he says, okay, sign number 1. Then he goes back and says, no, you know what? This is not a sadaqah. It's a hadiyah. It's a gift for you. So Prophet Muhammad ate from it. So now 1 and 2 is on. How is he gonna go to? Excuse me, I don't know, you don't know me, but can you please take off your I need to see something between the shoulder blades. Yeah. So he kept going around, peeking, trying to do this. So Prophet Muhammad noticed. He noticed. He says, "Ala rislika, let me help you out. Here you go." So Prophet Muhammad took him off his shoulder, and he saw the seal of the prophets and messengers. And some of the scholars and historians will tell you the seal of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had between his shoulder blades, is, you know, when you have like a beauty mark, but in it has hairs that look the rooster. You know the rooster, they have the beautiful silky hair that looks like a nice, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not really good at thingy, the hair thingy, the ponytail, but a really nice fancy looking thingy. That's the seal of the Prophet. So as soon as Prophet Muhammad showed him, kabba alayhi wa qabbalah, right away, wallahi la hawla wa quwwata illa billah, he right away grabbed Prophet Muhammad and started kissing his hand, his head, his feet. He says, I've been looking for you for a long time. I have been through up and down, right and left, enslaved. So he says, no problems. Now it's time for Salman al-Farisi to live and learn Islam from the source, from Prophet Muhammad. Now, let me go to something in his name. And now, another lesson learned from the story of Salman al-Farisi. We said, first of all, there is dedication and conviction and determination. 3 attributes we have to have in order for us to hold on to La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, especially with the situation that we're going through right now. Second lesson learned, brothers and sisters, if you remember, when the priest was not good, he did not say, I don't want this Christianity of yours. What do we learn from that? Look, this is the first pursuit of Allah to tell you that, listen, wallahi, we are full of sins and mistakes. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to make us a fitna al-qawm al-zalimin, not to make us among the people that I don't want to become a Muslim because of you. Wallahi, I tell my wife, to me what scares me the most, if people will not want to become Muslim because of this pursuit of Allah. Wallahi, it's scary. Scary. May Allah protect us from that, Ya Rabb. So he kept that in mind. So what I'm trying to tell you, my brothers and sisters, is differentiate between the religion and those who claim that they belong to the religion. Understand the Dr. Pavlov theory? Yes? You know, the food, the dog, the bill, salivated, so they associated. So what do? Islamic jihadists, Muslim fundamentalists, all of that's Muslim terrorists, everything to do with Islam, Muslim, Islamist, and all that stuff is negative connotation. So what do you think people are going to do? Of course, they're going to think negatively of Islam. But Salman al-Farisi, radiallahu anh, was too clever for that. He had the wisdom to differentiate. This is a human being. But the way of life, I like. So I don't want you to say, you know what, this person here, okay, I don't want Islam anymore. I get this all the time. Today, I was on a phone call. May Allah help us, wallahi. I was on a committee that's talking to in the hospital. They have all these doctors and a Muslim family that they had to go through difficulty. I'm not going to tell you all the details, but they were asking this Muslim, Allah, what do we do? So I told them the rulings on Quran and Sunnah. So the doctor was very defensive. We cannot take a ruling for over 1500 years ago. So why did you ask me to come? Ya ukhti, mashallah, doc, you mufti, yeah? Okay, alhamdulillah, go ahead. But I didn't say it. I didn't want to argue. I said, thank you for bringing me on. I appreciate it. We are at your service. And I moved on. I told him I cannot force you for anybody to do it. But this is what Islam states, according to the scholars, according to the ayat and the hadith. And that's it. I mean, they were nice about it, but you understand that people rebel. They don't want to. Okay, you know what? You're an extremist. Look how Muslims are. You think I want to tell you what you want to hear? You think I'm going to sell my deen for your dunya just to pull the plug on somebody so you save some money for? Give me a break, man. So Islam is eternal. Don't tell me, oh, it was over 1400 years ago. And this person was a Muslim, and that's what hurts. This doctor was a Muslim, and they were arguing with me. So I said, that's a lot of okay. Good. Let's come back. So Salman al-Farisi realized that. So what I'm trying to tell you, my brothers and sisters, please understand. And again, note that this person of Allah was a spokesperson for media, another community. And the number 1 and 2 always interviewed women and terrorism. Oh, these are the only 2 they want to ask about. That's it. Anything else about Islam? No. We just want to talk about women and terrorism. Allah, not tourism, terrorism. So this is what you have to understand. Please remember that. So we look at the religion and the practice of the religion from the sources of Quran and Sunnah. If you're going to tell me, and that's what I get, I don't want to wear the hijab, Sheikh. Why, ukhti? I know a sister muhajjaba that is terrible human being. Fantastic. I know a brother that comes to this masjid that prays 5 times a day, but he's interesting person. Ramadan, yani. You understand? I know people that perform Hajj are the worst human beings. I know a belly dancer. I don't know her personally, yani. I'm sure I heard of yani, because he's gonna say yani. What kind of this milkshake again? La hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Yeah, this is known facts. These are artists. They come online, say, you know what? I make this hishtik. I make my money so I can perform Hajj and I wash my sins and okay, again, relax, yani. What's going on? Take it easy, relax. We're here still. Good. Okay. So you understand? So if I'm now going to tell you, I'm not going to perform Hajj because I know people in Hajj, they go ahead and steal in the haram. Wallahi, it happened to this person of Allah. First of all, when I used to live in Saudi a long time ago, they didn't have this mina thingy and jamarat and all this organized. It was flat, dude. And there was this big thing and just a pillar there, and you were on your own, man. Wallahi. If you want to come close by, you know what? You are a hero because you're going to get... Everybody is like, they're not stoning the shaitan, they're stoning you, apparently. And have you seen these guys that take their shoes off and... You made me divorce my wife, and the bigger the stone, the bigger it is. I'm going to kill shaitan. Ya Ammi, it's not there, Allah. It's a pillar. You got it? You're declaring your loyalty to Ar-Rahman and Amasi the shaitan. That's what you're reviving, and you're renewing your ahd, your covenant with Allah. That's what you're doing, man. It's a pillar. It's a ritual that we have to follow. So don't think it's shaitan, you're going to kill shaitan. Have you seen these guys that run back and run forward? They think that, oh, I got him now. CPR, do not resuscitate DNR. Don't call 911. We need to kill this guy. Knowledge, ya akhi. Ignorance, ya sheikh. So the same thing, wallahi. So I have this new Muslim sister, she climbed on my back. It's alive. He's here. It's a miracle. So I said, what are you doing? She says, listen, I'm a new Muslim. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I'm going to fall. You are the only guy. So she latched on like with her dear life. It's haram. You can't do that. But what I'm trying to tell you is I had one girl, niqab. Yes? Big, tall girl. And another guy with all this lovely, uniform. And she didn't even care. because I had the ihram on and I had the stones with me. And she thought it was like gold or money or something. She grabbed it, man. She didn't even care if I looked at it. She was ducking on it. So I said, hey, it's just stones. But now to tell me, I was thinking, yani, break that, bite her hand up. Now that I get angry that I didn't just, because I was too busy just to stay alive. Yani. And who's going to believe me? Yani? This guy looks like Saudi. Allah help us, wallahi. What are you going to say? The shurta, it was a chaos, yeah? So you will see this in the haram. Does that make me now I don't want to go anymore? Yeah, you know people when they go there and they caught people in that certain airport, I'm not going to mention the country, they had so much Saudi Arabia, so much money stealing. People go there to steal, ya ukhti. They're not even, some of them are not even Muslim, and they caught. And I know the person, wallahi, personally. I know from my family members who used to be the head of blah, blah, blah. But yani, since we don't go there, because I'd like to keep going, inshallah. Yani, khair. So my point is, understand that don't blame that you're not wearing the hijab because you know another sister wears hijab and she's a terrible person. Well, in that case, you know what? Don't pray. No, don't pray. I'm not asking you, don't pray. I'm just making an example. Because I know people that don't pray that they're terrible. People that do hajj and people fast and all of that stuff. You got it? So that's out. Don't make excuse. Why? Because you're going to stand in front of Allah subhanahu on your own. You think I didn't do it because this person? You think Allah's going to accept that? Allah's not going to accept that. Now, listen carefully. Salman al-Farisi, Bilal al-Habashi, Suhaib al-Rumi. What am I saying here? And why? Where was Salman from? Faris, Persia. Where was Suhaib? Roman. Yes, the Romans. And where is Bilal? Habasha, Abyssinia. Yes? Did Prophet Muhammad says, you are this and you are white, you are this and you're from here and you are. Did the Sahaba do that? So why do we do it, ya akhi and ukhti? What, where are you from? What's your country? Where city? And what's your tribe? And what family? Yes? Okay, so I talked about this enough times. Let's continue on, inshallah. Salman al-Farisi was pivotal in a few things. Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anhu was very smart intellectual, as you notice, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in one of the best of times, he actually listened to him. Salman al-Farisi rahmatullah radiallahu anhu, he was pivotal in the Ahzab, in Khandaq, the trench. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now they have a 10,000 army strong, very, very large army coming in, and in Medina, they don't know what to do. Yeah, they had very few people to defend, and they made a covenant. I'm not going to go to the details again. It's not what we're after, but the background says I don't know what to do. So Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anh says, at Persia we used to have a trick. When an army comes in that's very strong, we didn't know what to do. We used to dig a trench. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam listened to Salman al-Farisi. Could you imagine the best of creation? Listen to a human being, not even from the tribe, not even from Mecca. So we have to listen to the shura and so on and so forth. My brothers and sisters, if Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam listened to Salman al-Farisi, radiallahu anh, who are we not to listen to others? Wallahi, I learned from my students, and I thank them for it. When I go around teach courses, and this brother tells me and set me up, I thank them for it. And as a matter of fact, I took some ideas to make other courses from my students. So alhamdulillah, we have to learn. And I still ask my teachers, I still ask them, wallahi, we have stuff to know. If Prophet Muhammad, the best of creation, listened to one of his companions, and he said, هذه الخدعة, يعني, is this wahi? Is this inspiration? Or this is just trying to defend? Says, no. And he listened to others. Remember the other battle where he said, you know what? Let's take this position. We take control of the water, yes, in the battle, the Badr, and we, let them deny him the water. So he listened to other person, and others too. So it's shura, consultation. So I'm trying to talk to the brothers especially. Consult with your wife, akhi and ukhti. Yeah, I know my wife is not watching, so I'm not winning any brownie points, but that's okay. I'm just saying, to consult. أمرهم شورى بينهم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. And now, this is what we're going to, inshallah, finish off. Because I know that I'm supposed to finish a little earlier, but we can learn a few things here. First of all, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, says, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ وَأَمْرُهُم شُورَى بَيْنَهُم وَادْعُ لَهُمْ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُم. And says, after all, even though that they made mistakes, they understand in the battle of Uhud, but Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam took it, And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Forgive them again if they do so. Yes? So we have to understand, my brothers and sisters, the best of creation. Listen to Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anh. And when he used to dig, Allahumma la aisha illa aisha al-akhirah faghfir al-ansari wal-muhajira. Oh Allah, there's no true life except the hereafter. Inna dar al-akhirah hiya al-hayawan. Now, let me seal it off with understanding the message. If Allah subhanahu, because we get this question a lot, if people did not receive the message of Islam, how could they be punished? Valid. But these people are very nice people. How did they go to the hellfire? So let me set this record straight and we'll finish with that, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa jalla, we have to agree on certain things. We agree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just the source of peace, the source of fairness, and source of equality, and all of that. Yes? If not, then I have a different conversation with you about your aqidah, about your iman, about understanding asmat wa sifat, the divine names and attributes. But since I'm hoping I'm talking to the right crowd, that we have to agree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fair and just, the source of, and so on. Okay. First, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذَّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. So let me build my case, then in the end, choice is yours. First of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we will not punish anyone unless and until we send a messenger. Okay, how many did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send? Anybody knows? You can write in the comments if you want. No TikTok, no TikToky. 124,000 prophets and messengers. Is that enough for you? He didn't say one, said 1, 2, 4, 0, 0, 0. 124,000 prophets and messengers. 25 mentioned by name in the Quran. Allahu Akbar. So don't tell me he didn't. He sent prophets and messengers all the time. Whether they were denied, they were belied, belittled, humiliated, killed, no problem. But Allah sent it. But then, on top of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us witness them. When Allah says that, took the progeny from Adam alayhi salam to all the forefathers that we come from, He says, Alastu bi rabbikum alam al-dharr, right? Remember that? He says, am I not your Lord? قالوا بلى شهدنا. We testify that you are our Lord. And that's why in the back of your mind, in the innate feeling that you think there is something. As a matter of fact, in Surah Al-Naml, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَجَحَدُوا بِهَا وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُم. As a matter of fact, I've seen this research. The research gets all the ding 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 ding, all that stuff. It says then they ask people. It's not like a lie detector. It's just something to show your senses. So they asked him, asking questions, everything in line. Then they asked him, do you believe in God? He says no. Then it went nuts because they believe in it. They just deny it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says, وَجَحَدُوا بِهَا. Jahd is al-kufr. Jahd is like, something is there and I don't appreciate it. I'm not grateful for the ni'mah that Allah has given me. So on. وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُم. Meaning what? They are sure of it. They are sure of it. That it's true. And that's why in the back of my mind, I know there is something. But what is it? That's the innate, that's the instinct. That's the fitrah. That's the primal instinct, the innate feeling in you. Allah mentioned that. So Allah mentioned in the Quran, I made you testify that I'm your Lord. So they will not come on judgment. It says, we did not know this. Allah made you testify that He is your Lord. Then He sent you a messenger because He says, I will not punish you unless I send the messenger. 124,000 messenger. How is it? So Allah says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانِ قَوْمِهِ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمْ. So He made you testify. He sent you a message to remember. And He says, the messenger will come. He has to be with your tongue. Not just the language. No, your language, your understanding, your environment, your surrounding, from your everything that you're about. So he'll say, oh, this person doesn't know what we're going through. The scholar says he's from there. So after all of that, they tell you here's the true path and here's this, and the aql is there, aql and naql. The signs are very clear. So the logic is there and the proof is there from the Quran and Sunnah and every other attribute. That even all the prophets and messengers said the same thing. There's only one God, worship them. Stay away from this and do this. This is what's lawful, this is what's lawful. Stay away from the hellfire, go to paradise. This is the path, this is the path. And so on. So everybody was there. The message was the same. So now, is it fair or not? Because people say, you know what? They did a research in, I believe, in the Aboriginals in Australia. They send them because they don't have this www.com.net, no Blackberries, Blueberries, Raspberries, and no iPhone, Samsung, and nothing. You have nothing. Okay? And they asked him, do you believe? He says, yeah, we believe. There's one creator. We don't know how, but we believe there's one creator. No father, no son, no dad, no wife, no all of that stuff. Just one creator. That's what they do. The primal instinct is there still because they haven't been touched. These are natural, pure, natural. Yes? So you had to indoctrinate. And that's what the hadith says. كُلُّ مَوْلُودٌ يُولَدْ عَلَى الْفِطْرَةِ. Every human being is born in a primal instinct. But the parents make him into a Christian or a Jew or Magos, the one that they would do. You understand? Because they have to sell you the idea. But if you leave some people alone, they will just believe there's only one God. Not triune God and 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. He has a father, he has a son, he has and all of that stuff. I'm not going to go there. It's not our topic. But understanding that, my brothers and sisters, now, let's walk in the footsteps of Salman al-Farisi. Let's have our own jihad from our own whims and desires. Let's be with the righteous company. Strive to be in the righteous environment in order for you to be saved. And let's find Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in our mind, heart, and soul to be with him. Those people have traveled a lot, being imprisoned, being enslaved, but didn't care. They wanted to find the truth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us the truth as truth and make us follow it, and show us falsehood as falsehood and make us stay away from it. Ameen. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على آله وصحبه والتابعين جزاكم الله عنا خيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh Ala El Sayyid, for that journey from Persia to Medina. Unfortunately, our journey has ended for today. We hope that you have benefited, and if you have, inshallah, we will see you tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. And as always, if you have enjoyed, please share with your friends and family. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.